They say EVs are the future, but here's the catch. Not everyone believes it, and some of their reasons? They're surprisingly valid. Will an EV really empty your wallet? Can you actually find a charger when you need one? Will the battery die before your loan does? From soaring costs to charger deserts and short-lived batteries, we analyzed insights from nearly 65,000 drivers across 3 major 2025 surveys, and we're setting the record straight. Some of these EV myths are total fiction, but others? They're real, and they want you to ignore them until you've already bought the car. Stick around. We're putting the 6 biggest EV myths of 2025 on the lift and tearing them down, one by one. In 2025, just 24% of car shoppers say they're very likely to buy an EV, according to J.D. Power. We stacked 3 fresh datasets. Deloitte, 2025, 31,000 consumers, 30 countries. McKinsey Mobility Pulse, 2025, 25,900 consumers across China, Europe, and the US. J.D. Power, 2025 US EV consideration, 8,200 in-market shoppers. Add them up, and you get input from around 65,000 real drivers. Despite geography, 3 complaints echo everywhere: upfront cost, charging access, and battery performance. So, we dug into the data, and the truth might surprise you. Myth number 1, EVs cost way more. This one tops every global survey. Deloitte, McKinsey, J.D. Power, upfront cost is the #1 deterrent. But that sticker shock doesn't always tell the full story. Typically, electric vehicles cost half as much to maintain and repair as gas-powered cars. Plus, every EV model in every state is cheaper to fill than a gas-powered vehicle. But here's the catch. Many of these payoffs rely on government incentives. In the US, the federal tax credit used to offer up to $7,500 USD for qualifying EVs, contingent upon meeting specific domestic manufacturing and battery sourcing requirements. But, the IRA tax break for an EV purchase comes to an end at the end of 2025 under the House-passed tax bill. In the UK, company car drivers can benefit significantly from salary sacrifice schemes. These programs allow employees to lease EVs using pre-tax income, leading to substantial savings. Depending on the individual's tax bracket and the vehicle chosen, savings can range from 30% to 60% compared to traditional purchasing methods. And Australia? Previously, NSW offered a $3,000 rebate and stamp duty exemptions for eligible EV purchases. However, these incentives concluded on December 31, 2023. Vehicles purchased or with deposits made before this date remain eligible for the benefits. While some states have phased out direct consumer rebates, others continue to offer financial incentives and tax concessions. The federal FBT exemption remains a significant benefit, especially when combined with state-level programs. Still, many shoppers don't know this. J.D. Power found that only 40% of U.S. buyers are even aware incentives exist. Even small differences in driving habits, electricity rates, or resale values can shift the equation. And while some countries are dialing back subsidies, others are rolling out new ones tied to local sourcing or income caps. So, myth busted, true, or somewhere in between? It depends. If you live in a country with generous incentives and you drive enough to benefit from fuel savings, an EV can save you money. But if you plan to resell quickly or can't claim credits, you may want to wait or shop carefully. Bottom line, do the math, check your local incentives. Myth number 2. There are no chargers where I live. This fear is especially strong among urban renters, who often lack home charging. In AAA and NRMA polls, 30% of EV skeptics cite this gap. But the infrastructure is growing, fast. European Union, over 1 million public chargers by 2025, according to LCP Delta. China, over 2 million. USA, 180,000 and climbing. Australia, over 40% year-over-year growth in public sites. And the types of chargers are evolving too. DC fast charging is pushing beyond 350 kilowatts, thanks to 800-volt architectures, something we covered in our previous video. If you're concerned about finding EV charging stations during your travels, rest assured, there are reliable apps designed to assist you globally. PlugShare offers a comprehensive, community-driven map of charging stations worldwide, featuring user reviews and photos to help you choose the best spots. ChargePoint connects you to one of the largest networks of charging stations, providing real-time availability, pricing, and the ability to start charging sessions directly from the app. For trip planning, a better route planner, or ABRP, allows you to map out your journey with optimal charging stops tailored to your vehicle's specifications. These tools are invaluable for ensuring a smooth and efficient EV experience no matter where you are in the world. Meanwhile, new models like curbside posts, workplace charging, and even battery swap stations are gaining traction. In some cities, apartment complexes are retrofitting garages with level 2 stations. Utilities and governments are offering rebates for landlords to install them. Even big-box retailers like Walmart and IKEA are installing DC chargers in parking lots, bringing high-speed charging closer to daily life. Again, this depends. If you live in a dense urban area or an apartment without private parking, it's crucial to map out your charging options before buying. Look at work, nearby DC stations, or whether your area has public or shared residential charging. For more, check our episode on the 800-volt revolution and the future of EV charging. Myth number 3. EV range sucks and batteries don't last. It's a prevalent concern. 29% of drivers globally express worries about EV range. But let's delve into the latest findings. Real-world range. In 2025, electric vehicles have significantly improved in range. Premium models now offer between 700 and 800 kilometers, or 435 to 500 miles per charge, while many mainstream EVs comfortably exceed 400 kilometers or 250 miles. Battery longevity. Recent studies indicate that EV batteries degrade at an average rate of 1.8% per year, an improvement from previous years. This suggests that most EV batteries will retain over 90% of their original capacity after 5 years. Extended lifespan research from Stanford University in 2025 found that real-world driving conditions can extend EV battery life by up to 38% compared to traditional lab tests. This means EV batteries could last significantly longer than previously anticipated. However, it's essential to note that the range displayed on your dashboard isn't always what you'll get in real-world conditions. Range estimates are based on standardized testing cycles, which may not reflect your specific driving habits. For instance, taking a road trip with 4 passengers, luggage, and driving at highway speeds, that 250-mile range can decrease significantly. In colder climates, using cabin heating can also reduce range. So the myth is actually true. EV range and battery longevity concerns are valid. However, with advancements in technology and real-world driving conditions, many users still find EVs to be a practical and efficient choice. Question for you: what's your biggest EV hesitation, and where are you tuning in from? Drop it in the comments. Your location context helps everyone compare notes. Myth number 4. EVs are unreliable and hard to fix. This worry shows up in the data, not just the comment section. According to the Deloitte 2025 Global Automotive Consumer Study, only 29% of US shoppers pick less maintenance as a reason to go electric, meaning 71% are unconvinced that EVs will be hassle-free. The J.D. Power 2025 Vehicle Dependability Study shows battery electric models average 223 problems per 100 vehicles after 3 years, 11% worse than the industry average and mainly driven by software and infotainment glitches. Meanwhile, the McKinsey 2025 Mobility Consumer Pulse reveals that 46% of current US EV owners say they might return to a gas car next time, with top 3 reasons, including unexpected repair costs and downtime while waiting for parts. Hardware like motors and brakes do need less service, but the latest studies flag 2 pain points. 1. Software bugs, over-the-air updates fix most but quality still lags. 2. Battery or power electronics repairs, rare yet expensive and sometimes slow because parts and trained techs are scarce. Our practical advice? Pick brands with strong service networks, for example Hyundai, Ford, BMW, or proven mobile service programs. Ask for battery warranty details. 8 years or 160,000 kilometers is the current baseline. Some brands now add state of health guarantees. Price out insurance and extended warranties up front. They vary more for EVs than for ICE. Learn your OTA schedule. Most glitches are fixed overnight if Wi-Fi is enabled. Conclusion: true, but manageable. EVs have fewer moving parts, yet software maturity and repair logistics still lag. Do your homework on service coverage and warranty terms before you sign. Myth number 5. Battery recycling is a disaster. They'll just dump those giant batteries in a landfill, right? That fear pops up in every Q&A we do, and the surveys back it up. Deloitte's 2025 study. 1 in 5 shoppers list battery end of life as a top reason to skip an EV. US recycler Redwood Materials and Canada-US player Li-Cycle now recover 95% of the lithium, nickel, and cobalt from used packs. Global capacity? 4.6 million tons a year. Fresh European Union rules make automakers take packs back and use recycled metals in new cells. What's still messy? Collecting batteries from totaled cars? The pipeline exists, but it's slow. Low-value LFP packs are just break-even to recycle until nickel prices rise or subsidies improve. Practical takeaways. Ask the dealer, do you run a take-back program? Tesla, VW, Nissan, BYD already do. Save your service reports. They speed acceptance into recycling and bump resale. Nervous? Lease. The battery's end of life is the finance company's problem, not yours. Conclusion? True, but improving fast. Recycling isn't perfect yet. But by the time your 2025 battery retires, the infrastructure will likely be ready to tear it down and turn it into the next generation of cells. Myth number 6. EVs won't dominate anytime soon. EVs are still a tiny slice of the pie. They'll stay niche for years, right? Let's see what the 2025 consumer data really says. Fresh survey numbers, McKinsey Mobility Consumer. Pulse 2025, when asked what powertrain they'll buy next, 45% of Chinese consumers say battery electric, but only 23% in Europe and just 12% in the United States. Deloitte 2025, within individual markets, battery electric vehicles intent is still modest. 14% in Germany, 8% in the UK, 5% in the US. Most shoppers are leaning hybrid first. J.D. Power 2025 US EV consideration study keeps the very likely to buy EV crowd flat at 24%. So the myth has a kernel of truth. Interest is uneven, and many buyers still want one more ICE or hybrid first. Reality check? Norway proves that policy and charging can push the battery electric vehicle's share above 90% of new sales. China already has over 2 million public chargers and has hit 45% battery electric vehicle intent. Consumer pull is matching the regulatory push. US and Australia lag because incentives and charger density vary state to state. Rural areas remain below 20% purchase intent. Practical guidance. Look local. Your state or province might offer credits and fast charger buildouts that the national average hides. Early adopter perks fade. HOV lane access and free parking usually vanish once market share climbs. Getting in early locks them in. Resale math. In hot EV regions, China's coastal cities, Norway, California, used EV values hold. In slow regions, choose models that still qualify for tax credits to cushion depreciation. Myth verdict? Partly true. EVs won't dominate overnight everywhere, but in policy-rich urbanized markets they're already mainstream. Your timeline depends on where you live and how quickly incentives and chargers scale up. EVs are not perfect, but they're not the boogeymen some myths suggest. We're on the cusp of solid-state breakthroughs, 500-kilometer or 310-mile real-world ranges, and faster, smarter charging, though the pace will differ from Oslo to Ohio. So here's our take. Don't ignore your local context, don't skip the math, and don't fall for fear-based headlines. Want deeper dives? Check out our previous episodes on 800-volt systems and solid-state batteries linked below, and subscribe to our channel for more busted myths with facts. I'm EV Engineering Nexus. See you in the next cycle.